Coming up on UCF Nightly News, President Barack Obama will serve another 4 years in office.
And some students waited up to 5 hours to vote on Tuesday at the UCF Arena.
And after Hurricane Sandy whipped through the Northeast, one UCF student is organizing a donation drive to help those in need.
Nightly News starts now.
Good afternoon and welcome to Nightly News. I'm Valerie Cooper.
And I'm Chris Pinson. Today is Friday, October 9th. We have breaking news happening right here on campus. The fraternity Alpha Tau Omega is under investigation by the university for hazing allegations. UCF officials put the fraternity on interim suspension Tuesday. Officials say the swift action is to preserve the health and safety of all individuals. The fraternity can petition the suspension before the University Conduct Panel on November 20th at 1 p.m. We will keep you updated as more details surface.
And this week, America made its choice for Commander-in-Chief. After several months of political ads and campaigns, President Barack Obama won the presidency. Many polls closed at 7 p.m. Tuesday night, but it took several hours to count votes across the country. It was a head-to-head matchup, but votes for Obama crept up, and he finished the night with 303 electoral votes versus Romney's 206. In order to win the election, either candidate had to gain at least 270 electoral votes. President Obama celebrated the victory in Chicago with his family. We brought you continuous coverage of the 11 amendments on the Florida ballot this year. And after Florida voted Tuesday night, only 3 of the 11 amendments gained the 60% of votes needed to ratify them. Amendment 2, which gives tax relief to veterans, passed. Amendment 9 also passed. It gives tax relief to the spouses of veterans. And voters also said yes to Amendment 11, which concerns taxes for senior citizens. None of the other amendments gained the necessary support. And UCF made headlines on Election Day. Our own Kayla O'Brien joins us live now to explain why.
That's right, Valerie. Election Day excitement caused long lines at polling places all across the country. At Precinct 538 at the UCF Arena, students stood in line for hours to cast their vote. Poll officials say the line of hundreds wrapped around the arena for most of the day. I talked to students about what issues brought them to the polls on Election Day and what made them stay so long in line. Students waited and waited and waited for hours to cast their vote. But many in this line say they would wait even longer.
Well, this is my first time actually being able to vote, and I definitely think it is an American right and a responsibility, a duty.
It's good to have some impact on what our country is going to be doing for the next 4 years.
I just feel like this is a really big election and it's affecting college students the most, so I feel like I should participate in such a big part of history.
Because I think this is, important. My exercising my right to vote is just a smidgen more important than the class I have today.
Some students say they spent months researching both presidential candidates and political issues important to them.
Through advocacy of my friends, family, relations, also all of the parties standing around campus in the booths. I walk by the union often, so I get to hear everyone's side usually. I try not to be partisan to anything. I like to open my mind to all spectrums of it.
Mostly just on the 2 presidential candidates. Not much on the amendments and whatnot, which I do regret, and that's something I'm definitely going to, make up for, do better with next time.
Even in the rain, students stuck it out and placed their mark on this year's election. And Florida didn't end up making a difference in President Obama's win, but most students I spoke to still felt proud they participated in such a historic election. And after the polls closed, I attended a local victory party hosted by Central Florida Democrats at the Embassy Suites in downtown Orlando. As national election results played on screens in the ballroom, local Democratic winners spoke to campaign organizers and supporters. Democrat Joe Saunders won the State House District 49 seat against Republican Marco Pena. UCF falls under District 49. And just hours before his big win, Saunders campaigned on campus.
I'm trying to get to know folks on campus pretty much throughout the entire election, but to have so many voters right here, available to talk to and to tell about my ideas about Florida, it's a good opportunity and it's an exciting time.
As President Obama reached more than the required 270 electoral votes needed for re-election, the crowd cheered. And the party lasted until early in the morning, even though Florida still hasn't revealed which presidential candidate won the state. Back to you, Valerie and Chris.
Thank you, Kayla. Between Twitter and Facebook posts, a lot of people are still talking about the outcome of the presidential election. I got the chance to speak with some UCF students about how they felt after Election Day wrapped up. Now that Election Day is over, and President Barack Obama is still the commander at America's helm, many UCF students feel very different about the end result.
I'm happy that people are finally getting to express themselves over a social media basis instead of being restricted from talking about their ideals in line.
Well, I wanted Barack Obama to win, and he did.
Some students say they don't care who's in charge. They're just excited the campaign ads will finally stop running.
10. The ads were everywhere. They were annoying, very annoying.
But the central message from UCF students, like him or not, Obama is our leader.
He's the president. He's leading our nation. You should support that.
In Orlando, Chris Pinson, UCF Nightly News. President Obama will be sworn in on January 2013.
Time now for a first look at our weather. Karen Laird joins us with a look at our first forecast.
The weather's been pretty chilly so far, Karen. What can we expect?
That's right. It's absolutely beautiful here in Central Florida right now. We got to feel some nice cool temperatures this morning in the low 50s, but right now it's about 73 degrees and sunny with northeast winds at around 10 miles per hour. There's a 0% chance of rain today, so if you've got outdoor plans tonight, you won't have to worry about the rain. You will want to grab a jacket though, because it's going to get down to 52 degrees tonight. But it's not going to stay like that for much longer, and we'll have more on the forecast and your 5-day outlook a little bit later in the broadcast.
Still ahead on Nightly News, minimum wage is going up. Find out what this means for UCF student workers.
And just in time for finals, UCF is expanding. Find out where students can study after the break.
UCF President John Hitt may be getting a raise soon. On November 15th, the UCF Board of Trustees will meet to discuss whether Hitt's salary will increase more than $26,000. The UCF held a public forum on Tuesday for students to ask questions and clear up any doubts. He assured students that if he does get a raise, student tuition will not go up. Hitt got his last raise 6 years ago. If the raise takes place, his salary may go up to nearly $500,000.
And good news for all you working nights. Effective January 1st of 2013, minimum wage for the state of Florida is going up. Minimum wage is increasing from $7.67 per hour to $7.79 per hour. UCF Human Resources reports current UCF employees will automatically receive the new rate during the first pay period of the new year.
This week, UCF announced its new banking partner. Fairwinds Credit Union will take the place of SunTrust. Fairwinds offers students, faculty, and staff an easy way to link their UCF ID card to a Fairwinds checking account. The credit union provides free ATM transactions at all Publix machines and Fairwinds locations. UCF Finance Vice President Kurt Sawyer says it's clear Fairwinds is seeking to be more than a business partner and wants to invest in students' futures. The new Fairwinds location is under construction at the John T. Washington Center and will open in January.
UCF is going green once again. It's the first university in the nation to take on this new food recycling project. The Student Government Association is teaming up with Aramark, a dining and facilities management company, to give back to the community. Nitros, Marketplace, and Einstein Brothers are all donating non-perishable food at the end of every week. Partners at Food Donation Connection pick up food to bring to the Second Harvest Food Bank in Orlando. UCF SGA Vice President Rachel Brill explains SGA staff hopes this program can be a model for cities nationwide. Brill says the goal is to eventually get all food locations on campus involved in this project.
All-night study will expand just in time for semester finals. In response to the use of All-Night Study 1, Student Body President Cortez Watley says SGA is introducing a new study facility twice the size of the original. All-Night Study 2 will open by the end of this month in the old Brooklyn Pizza building located in Farrell Commons. And SGA is also opening Recreation and Wellness at Knights Plaza, where students can work out for 24 hours, twice a day. Renovations are underway near the arena. Cortez is excited for all the expansions on campus.
I think UCF is a very unique campus, and it's one that students fall in love with when they come here because of the aesthetic appeal and also the services we provide. So we're just trying to play our part in helping to ensure that that continues.
For the first time in UCF history, the university is hosting its first Spanish radio show. The Spanish radio show, called Latinos Representando, is a 2-hour segment that includes a variety of Latin music, interviews with guests, and Spanish breaking news. 19-year-old UCF student Victor Alfonso is the founder of the Hispanic show. Alfonso says because the show is online, anyone who speaks Spanish is able to tune in at any time from anywhere in the world. Latinos Representando
English because there is no Spanish show on Nightcast, or I think at UCF in general. And I think to just start one may or may not start a trend, and maybe people who speak different languages can start their own shows and, you know, just bring out more diversity.
Latinos Representando airs Wednesdays from 5 to 7 p.m. on the UCF website, nightcast.org.
We've had beautiful weather all week. When we come back, Karen Lair tells us what to expect for the next few days.
And coming up, one of our reporters got an exclusive interview with Matt Roloff from the hit TV show Little People, Big World. Find out what he had to say next on Nightly Entertainment.
I'm Stephanie Zorn, and here's a look at nightly entertainment. Halloween events came to an end last week, but theme parks skipped over Thanksgiving and dressed up overnight to celebrate the holidays. SeaWorld kicks off their Christmas celebration in just 1 week, and Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party begins tonight at Walt Disney World Resort. Islands of Adventure will bring the Christmas tale How the Grinch Stole Christmas to life on December 1st. Busch Gardens will be transformed into a winter wonderland on November 30th to welcome the holiday season. For more on all of these events, please visit our website at nightlynews.ucf.edu. Walking by the UCF Arena this week may look a bit different than usual. Crews are setting up for the seasonal event, Light Up UCF. By the end of next week, the area will be finished with an ice skating rink, Ferris wheel, and a Santa train. Children can also take pictures with Santa Claus, and a 2-story outdoor screen will display free Christmas movies on select nights. The 50 Nights of Music, Lights and Ice starts next Friday, November 16th, but UCF students can get a free sneak peek on Wednesday, November 14th. For more information on ticket pricing, visit nightlynews.ucf.edu. The Electric Daisy Carnival Orlando begins today at Tinkerfield downtown. EDC is a 2-day music festival sponsored by Insomniac Entertainment. The festival brings famous names and in-house music to another location. The EDC website boasts the event is complete with pyrotechnics, carnival rides, and living art pieces. Headliners for this year's show includes ties to Afrojack, Armin, and Van Buren.
Well, it's really rare that so many great artists come together in the same place at the same time, and I'm really excited to see everyone. You know, Afrojack's going to be there and Armin van Buren, so it's just going to be a great show, and I'm just excited to spend time with my friends and dance.
Our nightly news reporter Alexa Lima had the chance to interview Iron Singleton from The Walking Dead, but this week on the show, his character T-Doc was unexpectedly eaten by zombies. Reporter Alexa Lima ironically asked him how he would feel if he got killed off the show.
Are you worried about getting killed off the show?
Yes. Yes. Who's not? We're in a zombie apocalypse, so that means that anybody could go at any given time, any given moment. So, you know, I don't think you'd be human if you weren't worried about being killed off.
And reality star Matt Roloff from the hit show Little People, Big World made his debut at UCF Thursday night. Roloff spoke about his success and challenges as a little person. Nightly News reporter Alexa Lima had the chance to speak with him before his speech, and here's what he had to say to students who are facing challenges.
Building up your joyfulness through the challenges in life is a muscle that can be exercised and can become strong. And then when the big bad things happen to you in life, because bad things do happen to good people all the time, you can learn to be joyful and realize there's a purpose behind it.
That's all for entertainment this week. Now let's take a look at our weather. Karen Lair has our forecast. How's it looking today, Karen?
Thank you, Stephanie. This week brought some beautiful sunny weather here to Central Florida, but that was not the same case for the Northeast. A nor'easter that brought snow and additional power outages affected the same states that were hit hard by Hurricane Sandy. One student at UCF is taking it into his own hands to help make a difference for those who need it. UCF junior Tyler Nair is far from his hometown in coastal New Jersey, but that isn't stopping him from lending a helping hand to Hurricane Sandy relief efforts.
It's unfortunate, but I mean, these things happen. They weren't prepared for it, and you know, coming especially from down here where they get hit by those kind of storms all the time, it's really different to see it happen at home in a place you'd never expect, you know.
Nair is organizing a food and clothing drive to give members of the UCF community a chance to help the Northeast recover from the devastation left behind by the monster storm. They're collecting everything from non-perishable foods and toiletry items to diapers, baby formula, clothing, and blankets. Nair is working with local Wawa convenience stores to help truck the collected items north to New Jersey and New York.
They kind of put on the table that they would transport all the donations to a drop point in New Jersey for us. So that was a big hurdle that we didn't know what we were going to do with.
A donation drop box is located in the Student Union, and Nair and the UCF Sandy Relief Operations are looking for any students interested in volunteering. In Orlando, Karen Lair, UCF Nightly News. And if you're interested in volunteering, we posted the link for the UCF Sandy Relief Operations Facebook page on the Nightly News website. Now let's take a look at our temperatures across the state. Right here in Orlando, we're sitting at 73 degrees. A little bit warmer down south. Miami is at 74 right now. Over on the west coast, Tampa is at 72 degrees. And it's a little cooler up north. Jacksonville is sitting at 67, and over in our state capital, Tallahassee's at 69 degrees right now. And if you're traveling for the long weekend, let's take a look at our national weather temperatures. Right now, we've got some warmer temperatures across the south. Florida will be reaching temperatures in the 70s today, and a little bit warmer. Texas will be getting into the 80s, but everywhere else, it's got some pretty cool temperatures right now, but that's typical for this time of year. Up in the northeast, they've had a lot of snowfall the last few days. They're sitting under about 7 to 13 inches of snow right now. And you can see there's a lot of heavy snow coming up in the Midwest around Montana and Wyoming right now. So let's take a look at our precipitation map. Here's that snowfall I was talking about. It's bringing a lot of cool temperatures. They're in the 20s and 30s right now up here, but pretty dry, cool air everywhere else. So let's take a look at our 5-day forecast. Over the next few days, we've got some pretty steady temperatures. We won't have to worry about any rain chances until Tuesday, and just a slight chance of 20%. And the temperatures are going to be pretty steady. Our highs range from the high 70s to the low 80s the next week. And our lows are going to be pretty steady as well in the 60s, the low 60s, and the high 50s. That's all we have for weather right now. Back to you guys at the desk.
Still ahead on Nightly News.
Find out if the Knights still have a shot at the conference championship game. Don't go anywhere. Nightly News will be right back.
Hey Knights fans, Krizia Cruz here with your inside look at UCF athletics. UCF football is just 2 conference wins away from playing in the conference championship game. UCF notched another big win last Saturday, defeating SMU 42-17, firing up the fans in attendance at the homecoming game. The Knights are the victors of their last 5 games. And on Saturday, the Black and Gold will play on the road in the Lone Star State against the UTEP Miners. UTEP is dead last in the CUSA Western Division with an overall record of 2-7. Now, the Knights are just the opposite. They're 7-2 overall and lead the Eastern Division by a single game over East Carolina. Let's hope they can come away with another victory. Last Saturday, Nitro sported his tuxedo to announce the homecoming court and the return of a special former defensive end. Robert Pritchard graduated from UCF last May shortly after he began to have seizures and suffered a rare and severe stroke as a result. Pritchard underwent multiple surgeries to combat the swelling in his brain and is now in the beginning stages of rehab. He is relearning how to walk, talk, and accomplish simple tasks. With no end in sight, the family says his medical bills are already more than $300,000. To learn more about Pritchard's story and how to help, visit nightlynews.ucf.edu. That's all for sports. Valerie, Chris, back to you.
That's all the time we have for now. Thank you for joining us.
And if you have a story idea or a comment about something you've seen here on Nightly News, email us at nightlynews@ucf.edu. And be sure to check us out online in English and Spanish at nightlynews.ucf.edu. Now, Valerie, I want to touch on next week, the Knights, if they win this week, they're just one win away from the conference championship. Hopefully, with a win this week, that will put them 2 games ahead. And even if they lose, they'll still be ahead by East Carolina. Now, is there anything big on the weekend?
Well, I'm glad it's going to be such good weather. I'm going to the beach, I know, and with everybody at EDC, it's just going to be a good weekend, I think.
I think so. Here in the Heartland, it's going to be gorgeous. Now, we will want to keep you updated on the hazing story as we talked about at the top of the show. Be sure to stay with us because next week we're going to have a very special package to give you plenty of information on the story. Now, until then, have a great weekend, and we'll be here back again next Friday for Nightly News.